The council trembled as humanity struck with absolute eradication. Sci-fi, the galaxy had grown quiet around the outer spiral arms. The council, a gathering of the oldest and most powerful civilizations, ruled from their vast, gleaming station at the center of the trade and knowledge lanes. To them, humans were just another small species, one that lived far away on a blue-green world called Earth. The council had heard of humanity's intelligence and ambition, but they had little reason to fear it. They did not know that humans were preparing quietly, carefully, for a future they refused to predict. Alex Carter stood on the observation deck of the council station. He was a human envoy, sent as part of Earth's first official contact mission. His eyes scanned the glowing corridors below, where beings of every shape and color moved with purpose. Some had wings, some had multiple eyes, and others had skin that shimmered like metal. To Alex, it all looked strange, but not frightening. He had trained for this, studied the protocols, and knew how to smile politely while hiding the thoughts running through his mind. "Another meeting today," Laura King said beside him. She was one of Earth's top strategists, monitoring communications from the human side. "They still do not take us seriously. They call us weak, minor, harmless." Alex frowned. "They don't understand. They've never seen humans work together like we can. They've never seen what patience can do." Laura nodded. "And that is exactly why they underestimate us. That is always the mistake." The council chamber was massive. Light flowed through translucent panels, illuminating thousands of representatives. Each alien voice blended into a hum of conversation that reminded Alex of a crowded market. He listened as the elder counselors spoke, discussing trade disputes and the expansion of their influence. No one mentioned humanity with concern, only curiosity. The first speaker, a tall being named Zorak, waved a long arm covered in silver scales. "The humans are intelligent, yes, but they are insignificant in our affairs. Let us not waste time on them." The others nodded in agreement. Some whispered about the species' creativity. Others laughed at their technology, calling it primitive. Alex watched quietly, noting every gesture and reaction. Humans may be small in numbers, but they had a resilience the council could not yet measure. Back on Earth, humans prepared quietly. Lisa Brown, a director at the Planetary Defense Council, reviewed intelligence reports.
"We have been observed for decades," she said to her assistant. "Every fleet movement, every treaty."
"They think they know us, but we've learned from them as well. They don't see how fast we adapt." Her assistant, a young analyst named Tevin Ross, looked puzzled. "But they are stronger than us. They can destroy us easily if they wanted." Strength is not only in firepower. Strength is in patience, strategy, and timing. Humans understand that. Most species in the galaxy do not. Meanwhile, Alex attended a minor council debate on interstellar mining rights. The representatives argued fiercely over resources in a nearby asteroid belt. Alex noticed that they often ignored him when he tried to speak. They believed humans would never interfere in such matters. During a recess, Alex walked down the glowing corridors. He passed beings trading strange devices, others showing off energy patterns that pulsed in the air. None of them looked at him with real caution. Some waved, some smiled, but all believed humans were harmless. In one quiet chamber, he met with another envoy, Grace Hall. She was observing the council's technology in secret. "They rely too much on their fleets," she said quietly. "They never think about what a small species could do with the right tools, hidden in plain sight." Alex nodded. "And that is why patience is our weapon. They will never see the full extent of our preparation until it is too late." In the council, debates continued. Ah. One elder spoke of humanity with mild amusement. They have not colonized enough worlds. Their fleets are small. Why worry about them? Another, more cautious, replied, perhaps they are patient. Perhaps they are studying us. Patience is dangerous in an intelligent species. The first elder laughed. They are only children playing with dangerous toys. In his mind, he began mapping out the strengths and weaknesses of the council members. He could see the cracks forming: small arrogance, overconfidence, and a lack of attention to detail. These were weaknesses humanity could exploit. Back on Earth, humans trained in secret. Pilots like John Miller and engineers like Grace Hall worked tirelessly to perfect ships that were nearly invisible to standard sensors. They built fleets designed for speed and precision, not mass destruction. Scientists studied alien communication signals to predict council decisions. Strategists like Lisa Brown developed simulations of every possible council response. Alex returned to the observation deck, watching the council representatives celebrate minor victories and alliances. They never paused to consider that humans were learning faster than they could imagine. Humans were patient, quiet, and capable of planning for decades, even centuries, in advance. He remembered the first lesson his teacher had taught him back on Earth. Never underestimate a species that refuses to give up. Never underestimate humans. In the quiet of the observation deck, Alex allowed himself a small smile. The Council might dismiss humanity today, but patience and intelligence were their hidden weapons. They had learned to survive wars, famine, and disasters on Earth. They had learned to turn weaknesses into strengths. And now, humans were studying the galaxy itself. The Council trembled without knowing it. Unknown to the Council, humanity had already begun building networks in space, secret stations, and hidden fleets. Every move they made was calculated, every decision carefully hidden behind diplomacy and goodwill. The Council believed that humans were harmless, but in reality, humans had been preparing for this moment for decades. At night, Alex looked at the stars from the observation deck. The stars seemed calm, quiet, distant, but each star represented potential, opportunity, and a future where humans could change everything. He thought of Laura, of John, of Lisa, and every human who had worked tirelessly to prepare. They would not fight recklessly. They would strike only when the time was perfect. For now, humans were patient. For now, the Council believed they were insignificant. But patience, Alex knew, could be more dangerous than the fiercest weapon. And humanity had learned to wait. Every Council member thought they were safe. Every species believed that humans could never challenge their authority. They did not know that humans had already studied their fleets, their strategies, their weaknesses. Humanity had watched, learned, and waited for the perfect moment to show what they were truly capable of. In another chamber, Alex met with Grace again. "They are confident," he said.
They do not know what patience can do. Grace nodded. One day, they will see.
One day, the galaxy will see. And in that moment, somewhere far beyond the observation decks, ships quietly moved, stations came online, and humans continued their quiet preparation. The Council laughed, the stars shone, and the galaxy believed everything was normal. It was not. The silent species had awakened. The galaxy had grown even quieter in the weeks after Alex Carter's reports reached Earth. The Council remained confident, unaware that humanity had been watching their movements as carefully as they watched humans. From the Council's point of view, humans were still a minor inconvenience, small in number and slow to act. They had no reason to fear the blue-green world at the edge of the spiral arm. But humans had learned patience over thousands of years. Patience had become their weapon. on a remote human colony called New Haven, nestled on a planet with pale green oceans, signs of trouble appeared. Sensors picked up a massive fleet approaching from the outer rim. These ships were not human. They were council vessels, large and heavily armed, moving to enforce some mysterious judgment. The humans on New Haven had done nothing to provoke them, or so it seemed. Laura King stood in the command center, her hands resting on the console. Her eyes scanned the incoming fleet's projections. "They don't see it yet," she said quietly. "They think this is a simple patrol, a show of power. They don't know we anticipated this." John Miller, a pilot assigned to New Haven's defense, frowned. "We can't fight them head-on. They're too strong." Laura shook her head. "We won't fight them head-on." That is exactly what they expect. The Council thinks humans will respond with fear, with panic, with simple defense. But we prepared for this. Kevin Ross, an analyst, turned from a series of holographic displays. "They're going to destroy the colony." Laura's voice was calm. "Perhaps they believe that. But humanity's plan is never simple. If they strike at us directly, it only proves they underestimated us." The fleet arrived at New Haven's orbit just as predicted. Massive ships blocked sunlight from reaching the planet, casting long shadows over oceans and cities. The Council's commanders hailed the colony, demanding surrender. Their messages were loud, authoritative, and threatening. Alex Carter, still stationed at the Council's main observation deck, listened to the messages quietly. He recorded every word, every tone, every flaw in their delivery. The Council's arrogance was obvious. They had underestimated humans again. On the surface of New Haven, civilians and scientists evacuated into underground shelters. Ships capable of interstellar travel were prepared for sudden deployment, but the humans did not panic. They moved with calm precision, following protocols that had been practiced for decades. From orbit, the Council's fleet fired warning shots. Energy beams ripped through the atmosphere, creating massive explosions that lit the oceans. The Council believed this display would force humans to surrender to show their weakness. But the humans had prepared a trap. Laura activated a series of hidden satellites built in secret years before. These satellites disrupted the Council's communications and sensors, creating confusion. Council ships could no longer coordinate effectively. Small human fleets, almost invisible to normal scanners, moved silently through the gaps. John Miller's squadron of stealth fighters emerged from hidden positions and disabled several Council vessels before they even realized what had happened. No human ship was lost. Every strike was precise, surgical. The Council had expected chaos, but humans delivered control. In the Council chamber, alarms spread quickly. Zorak, the elder who had dismissed humanity as harmless, shouted, "How is this possible? They are insignificant. Their technology is primitive." Another counselor, more cautious, responded, Perhaps they have been hiding something. We underestimated them." Alex Carter stood quietly observing the panic. He knew humanity had prepared for this moment. Every strike, every move, had been planned for the Council's arrogance, and it was working. Back on New Haven, the human leaders met in a secure chamber. Lisa Brown addressed the team. "They attacked first. They believed we would surrender. They believed we would panic. Now they see what patience can do. We will not destroy them yet. We only teach them a lesson." Grace Hall nodded. "They will not forget this. The Council thinks humans are minor, weak. Now they see the truth." Kevin Ross pointed at a display. "Their fleet is retreating. But why? We didn't strike at their home worlds. We only defended ourselves." Lara smiled. "Humanity never strikes without purpose. They believe we are weak. They now know the opposite. In orbit, Council commanders struggled to maintain order. Their fleet was scattered, confused, and partially disabled. Reports came in that human forces had neutralized key vessels and disabled important weapon systems without unnecessary destruction. The Council had never faced such precision. Back on Earth, the news reached the leaders. Alex Carter's reports were detailed, showing every weakness in the Council's fleet and leadership. Lisa Brown and her team discussed the implications. They thought this would be a warning, Lisa said. Instead, it became their defeat in miniature. They will rethink everything they know about humans. John Miller watched the displays of Council fleets retreating into the void. They think they are in control. They think humans will wait for the next attack. But patience is our weapon. They will not see the full strength until we choose to show it. The Council convened an emergency meeting. Panic was spreading among elder members.
They defended one colony? One elder shouted. How can such a small species do this?
Perhaps we misjudged them. Perhaps they have been planning for decades. Alex observed silently. He knew the Council could not accept the reality of human capability yet. Pride and arrogance blinded them. Humans had already won, not by brute force, but by patience, preparation, and understanding the Council's weaknesses. On New Haven, the citizens emerged from shelters. They saw the aftermath of the Council's attack. Some cities damaged, some systems disrupted, but no human life lost. Humanity had proven that even a small, underestimated species could defend itself and strike with precision. Laura King walked through the command center, addressing the team. Today, the Council saw the first lesson. Humanity can defend itself. Humanity can strike when needed, but this is only the beginning. We do not seek revenge, only security. John Miller nodded. And if they test us again? Laura's eyes were steady. Then we strike again. And again, until the galaxy learns that humans are not to be underestimated. Alex Carter recorded every conversation, every movement, every reaction. He knew the Council's panic would spread. Their overconfidence had been broken in a single day. Humans had not conquered worlds yet. Humans had not unleashed their full power. But the lesson had begun. In distant Council chambers, debates grew heated. "We must respond," one elder shouted.
They will grow bold if we do nothing. Another elder said calmly, Perhaps we should observe. Perhaps there is more we do not see.
Alex knew the truth. Observation would not save them. Humans had prepared for every contingency, every scenario, every Council reaction. The Council had made a grave mistake in assuming humans were harmless. On Earth, Lisa Brown spoke to her team. They believed we were weak. They believed we could be intimidated. They will not make that mistake again. But neither should we act rashly. Patience is our greatest weapon. Grace Hall worked quietly, reviewing data from the Council fleet. They are strong, yes, but arrogance always creates weakness. They will make mistakes. We only need to be ready. Kevin Ross looked at the maps and simulations. If they strike again, they will target more colonies, more civilians. We need to be ready everywhere. We are ready. That is the difference. Humans do not panic. Humans do not strike blindly. We wait, we plan, and when the time comes, we act with precision. Back on New Haven, survivors worked to rebuild what had been damaged. They shared a sense of calm pride. Humanity had faced the Council's wrath and survived. More than survived, they had shown that even the smallest species could strike with purpose and intelligence. Alex Carter looked at the stars again, thinking of the Council's arrogance and human patience. One day, the Council would face humans not as a minor inconvenience, but as a force that could shape the galaxy. Today had been only a beginning. The Council trembled, still unaware of the full extent of human planning. They believed they had tested a small species. They did not know that humans had already prepared countless contingencies, that every fleet, every move, every colony had been calculated in advance. Patience was not weakness. Patience was humanity's weapon. And humanity had waited long enough. The galaxy had begun to shift. The Council, once confident and proud, now faced a new reality. Humanity was no longer a quiet, insignificant species. They had defended New Haven with precision, patience, and intelligence, and the shock spread through the Council faster than any fleet could travel. Alex Carter watched the Council's emergency communications from his observation deck. He noticed panic in the eyes of the elder members, voices trembling over long-range transmissions. The Council had expected resistance, but not mastery. They had expected chaos, not controlled action. On Earth, Lisa Brown and her team monitored the Council's reaction closely. "They are regrouping," she said. "They will try again, but now they hesitate. They understand that humans are different. Different is not enough. They think strength comes from fleets. We've already proven that patience and planning can match their power. Grace Hall studied the projections of the Council's fleets. They may come in larger numbers. They may try to overwhelm us. But they still do not know what we are capable of." Kevin Ross pointed to a diagram of Council command centers. "If we strike their leadership nodes, we could force a pause. Their communication is centralized. If disrupted, their fleets will act without guidance." Laura King nodded. "We must be precise. We do not destroy for the sake of destruction. Every strike must serve a purpose. Humanity is measured, not reckless." Across the galaxy, the Council prepared. They sent larger fleets, more heavily armed than before, hoping to intimidate humans with sheer numbers. They believed that overwhelming force could erase fear and assert dominance. They did not realize that humans had already studied every movement, every strategy, every weakness. Alex Carter watched as human intelligence networks predicted every Council maneuver. Humans moved like a chess player anticipating 50 moves ahead. Every fleet, every satellite, every hidden base was ready for deployment. Humanity did not strike blindly. They struck where it mattered most. The first Council fleet approached a resource-rich system, intending to seize control. Human stealth ships, hidden in asteroid belts and behind moons, moved into position. One by one, Council vessels were disabled, their weapons neutralized without a single human casualty. The Council fleets were left stunned. They had expected surrender or retreat. Instead, they found themselves outmaneuvered. Lisa Brown activated the next phase. Communications to the Council were intercepted and modified, creating confusion and misdirection. Human forces disabled key command vessels while leaving others untouched, forcing the Council to rethink their strategy in real time. On board one of the Council's largest command ships, Zorak screamed into his communicator, "How is this possible? They cannot have this much knowledge. They are insignificant." A younger counselor tried to calm him. Perhaps they have been planning for decades. We did not see it." Alex Carter made detailed notes. The Council's arrogance was now fully exposed. They could not see humans as equals, only as nuisances until it was too late. From Earth, John Miller piloted a stealth fighter toward the next target. The mission was critical: disable the Council's economic hub in the sector. Every move was planned to the second. Humans struck not to kill, but to disable. leaving no chance for retaliation. Council leaders panicked as their economic systems went offline, crippling fleet resupply and creating gridlock. Grace Hall monitored the strike. Every system we touch increases confusion. Every action is measured. This is not chaos. This is precision. Kevin Ross nodded. And the council does not know how to respond. They expected panic. They expected errors. They got control and efficiency instead. Back in the council chambers, panic grew. One elder shouted, "We must act. We cannot allow a species so small to defy us," another responded calmly. "They are patient. They strike with precision. If we overreact, we may fall into their traps." Alex Carter smiled quietly. This was exactly what humanity had predicted. The Council's pride and arrogance blinded them from understanding that patience and planning could outweigh raw force. On Earth, Lisa Brown gathered her leaders. "We have completed the first stage. The Council now fears us." They hesitate, but the galaxy still does not see the full extent of our power. Laura King added, "And they will not until we decide it is time." Humans strike, not for conquest, but for necessity and defense. Yet they must understand that if forced, we will act decisively. The next move was even more daring. Humanity targeted council communication nodes that linked multiple sectors. By disrupting these links, entire fleets were rendered ineffective. The council could no longer coordinate large-scale responses. Panic spread faster than any human strike. John Miller led his squadron through the chaos. Council ships, once confident and overwhelming in number, now moved like blindfolded creatures, unable to respond effectively. Human forces disabled them one by one, leaving the council unable to regroup.
Grace Hall coordinated the next strikes. We must remain precise.
Every council leader we neutralize slows their recovery. We only strike when necessary.
Humanity's power is not in destruction. It is in control.
They cannot predict us. Their arrogance always leaves gaps. Every strike we make teaches them humility. Back on New Haven, survivors watched from shelters. They could not see the fleets, but they heard the council ships retreating from orbit. Humanity had not only defended themselves, but also shown that even a small species could disrupt the galaxy's most powerful organization. Alex Carter reflected on the events. The council had made their first mistake. They believed humans were weak. Their second mistake, they believed humans would act only in panic or desperation. But humanity's strength was in foresight, patience, and intelligence. Lisa Brown spoke to her team from Earth. "We have now proven that humans are not just survivors. We are a force to be respected. But our work is not finished. The Council must learn that underestimating humanity has consequences," Laura King added, "and they will. Every action we take is a lesson. Every strike, precise. Every move, measured. Humanity has always survived against the odds. Now we show the galaxy why." Kevin Ross pointed to the projections of the Council fleets. They will recover, eventually, but they will think twice before attacking humans again. John Miller smiled. They may recover, but they will never forget. In the council chambers, Zorak slammed his fist on the table. "We cannot allow this. How can one species cause so much disruption?" Another elder, calmer, replied, "They are not acting recklessly. They are precise. Every move is calculated. They think like no species we have known. Perhaps we underestimated humans for too long." Alex Carter recorded the conversation silently. Every word, every reaction was part of the human archive. Humanity was not just winning battles. They were teaching the Council humility, patience, and respect. From Earth, Lisa Brown gave the final orders for the phase. We do not attack further. The Council has been shown the cost of arrogance. They will reconsider every action they take against us. Humanity does not strike without reason, but they must know we can. Grace Hall nodded. Control has been established. The Council's fleets are in disarray. Communications disrupted. Leadership nodes weakened. They will hesitate before moving again. Kevin Ross added, and that hesitation is enough. It is the greatest lesson we can give. Never underestimate humans. John Miller looked at the stars. They still think humans are small and weak, but they have seen the first warning. They will remember it forever. On New Haven, civilians emerged from their shelters. Humanity had not only survived, they had controlled the situation with perfect efficiency. For the first time, the galaxy was beginning to see humans differently, not as minor players, but as a species capable of strategy, patience, and precision. Alex Carter looked at the reports from Earth and New Haven. Humanity had done what few species could. They had turned defense into offense without unnecessary destruction. The Council had not yet faced the full measure of human power, but they had already felt its first ripple. Lisa Brown addressed her team. This is only the beginning. The Council has learned the first lesson. Humans are not weak. They have learned patience and precision are as powerful as fleets. But the galaxy still does not know the full extent of our strength. Laura King added, and they will. Humanity will always act with intelligence, strategy, and precision. Today, they learned humility. Tomorrow, they may face the consequences of underestimating us again. In the council chambers, Zorak finally spoke quietly, almost to himself. We cannot predict them. We cannot control them. Perhaps we truly underestimated humans. Alex Carter recorded the moment. The council had finally begun to understand the truth. Humanity was not to be feared recklessly, but to be respected wisely. And yet, the full measure of human power remained hidden. Humanity had not destroyed. Not yet. They had only shown the first wave of what careful planning and patience could achieve. The council trembled, still uncertain, still arrogant, still unaware of what was to come. From Earth, Lisa Brown looked at the galaxy map. They think they are safe. They believe they have seen our strength. But humanity is patient. We strike only when necessary, and when the time comes, the galaxy will know the full measure of human determination. Alex Carter nodded quietly. Humanity had taught the council a lesson in patience, precision, and control. The first phase of their strategy was complete. The council's fleets were scattered, their confidence shaken. Humanity had defended itself. Humanity had proven it could strike, and humanity was ready for the next phase. The galaxy would never forget this day. The silent species had awakened. The galaxy held its breath. The council, once proud and unchallenged, now moved cautiously. Every fleet they sent, every order they gave, was measured with fear. Humanity had shown restraint, precision, and intelligence. But they had only begun. On Earth, Lisa Brown stood in the command center, looking at the galaxy map. Red dots marked the council fleets. Green dots marked human forces. Every human ship, every station, every hidden fleet was in position. Humanity did not rush. They waited. They watched. They prepared for the moment that the council's arrogance would finally meet consequences. Laura King spoke softly. They have learned fear. They have learned caution. But they do not yet understand our full strength. John Miller leaned over a holographic display, tracing fleet positions. When we act, it will be decisive. No hesitation. No wasted force. We do not conquer worlds. We erase only the threats. Kevin Ross nodded. Every calculation has been made. Every council weakness mapped. Every leader's decisions predicted. We strike only where it matters most. Grace Hall added, "This is not revenge. This is correction. The council forced our hand. Now they must see the cost of underestimating humans." In orbit around a neutral system, Alex Carter watched the council fleets gather. Zorak and other council elders spoke nervously through communications, trying to coordinate defenses. The council had learned to fear humans, but they still did not know how far humanity could reach. The first wave of human strikes began quietly. Advanced stealth fleets appeared suddenly from hidden positions, disabling council ships and command nodes before the council even realized they were under attack. Communication lines were severed. Fleets were paralyzed. Leadership structures collapsed in hours. Lisa Brown monitored the operation. Precision strikes only. Disable, neutralize, and teach the lesson. No unnecessary destruction. John Miller's squadron moved through the council fleet like shadows, neutralizing weapons systems and engines. Council ships drifted uselessly in space, unable to respond. The council's pride and arrogance had left them exposed, and humanity's patience exploited every weakness. Grace Hall coordinated attacks on council economic hubs. Without these, fleets could not refuel, weapons could not recharge, and their influence over colonies weakened. Every move was calculated, every strike measured, every council response anticipated. In the council chambers, panic spread like wildfire. "How can they do this?" one elder screamed. "They are small. They should be weak." Another counselor, calmer but fearful, replied, "They are not weak. Every move is calculated. They have studied us for decades. We cannot predict them. We cannot stop them." Alex Carter recorded every word. Humanity had already predicted these reactions. Every council flaw, every hesitation, every arrogant assumption had been mapped and exploited. On Earth, Lisa Brown addressed her team. "The council must learn that humans are not insignificant. They have seen our precision, our patience, and our ability to strike. They now experience the consequences of underestimating us."
Laura King added, "We do not seek to destroy unnecessarily."
But the galaxy must understand that humans cannot be ignored or controlled. The next phase began. Human fleets moved into the central hubs of council influence. Council worlds with leaders coordinating multiple sectors were targeted with surgical strikes. Ships arrived suddenly, disabled critical defenses, and neutralized key council leaders without harming civilians unnecessarily. Humanity did not seek conquest. They sought correction. Kevin Ross monitored the strikes. "Every council command structure we touch slows their response. Every fleet is now paralyzed. They cannot regroup." John Miller smiled grimly. They believed they controlled the galaxy. They believed humans could be dismissed. They will see that patience, intelligence, and precision are stronger than arrogance. From the Council's perspective, the galaxy was unraveling. Leaders argued desperately, sending fleets into chaos, but human anticipation and strategy outpaced every reaction. Communications were hacked, navigation disrupted, supply chains blocked. Entire sectors fell silent as human strikes dismantled leadership and control networks. Alex Carter observed quietly. Humanity had chosen to act decisively, but always with care. They were not destroyers. They were correctors. The Council's arrogance had caused their own downfall. On New Haven, civilians watched the sky. Council ships retreated in confusion, but humans did not pursue. Humanity's strikes were targeted, precise, and controlled. Every attack sent a message. The galaxy must respect humans or face consequences. Lisa Brown spoke to her team.
They now understand fear. They now understand caution.
They will never act against humanity recklessly again. Laura King added, and when the time comes, if forced, we can act further. But humanity does not strike without reason. We strike only to defend, to correct, to protect. In the council chambers, Zorak finally spoke quietly, almost to himself. They are not what we thought. They are not minor. They are precise, calculated, patient. We underestimated them. Another elder nodded, trembling. They have taught us a lesson we will never forget. They have acted without unnecessary destruction, yet they have shown power we cannot ignore. Alex Carter recorded the moment. Humanity had achieved what few species could. They had neutralized the Council's power without chaos, without unnecessary death, and without rash action. The galaxy had witnessed that patience, planning, and intelligence could match and surpass raw strength. Back on Earth, Lisa Brown looked at the final maps. The Council is no longer confident. Their fleets are scattered, their leaders cautious, their communications slow. The galaxy now knows humanity cannot be ignored. John Miller added, they will rebuild eventually. But they will never act against humans recklessly again. They now respect our patience and precision. Grace Hall smiled. And that is enough. Humanity does not seek conquest, only security and respect. We have delivered both. The galaxy will remember this day. Every species will remember that humans are patient, intelligent, and capable of precise action. On New Haven, citizens emerged from shelters once again. The Council's fleets had retreated, their worlds left intact but humbled. Humanity had struck decisively, yet with restraint. They had erased threats, not worlds. They had shown the Council that arrogance and underestimation carried consequences. Alex Carter looked at the stars. The galaxy was quieter now, but not peaceful. The Council would never forget what humans could do. Humanity had delivered a lesson that no species could ignore. They had acted decisively, with intelligence and patience, and the galaxy had taken note. Lisa Brown addressed the Global Command Team one last time. Humanity has acted. We have defended ourselves, corrected arrogance, and preserved life where possible. The Council has learned restraint, and the galaxy has learned respect. We do not seek domination. We do not seek revenge, but we are ready, always ready, if necessary. Laura King added, the silent species has awakened. The galaxy has seen that humans cannot be ignored. They will hesitate before acting against us again. Patience has proven stronger than arrogance. Intelligence has proven stronger than raw power. John Miller looked at the stars and whispered, we have shown them what humans can do. They will never make the mistake of underestimating us again. Grace Hall nodded. And humanity will always act with care, intelligence, and precision. The Council has been taught the lesson. Now the galaxy knows that humans are a force to be respected, not ignored. Alex Carter recorded the moment for history. Humanity had delivered the ultimate lesson. The Council had trembled. Fleets had been neutralized. Leadership been paralyzed. And the galaxy had seen the consequences of arrogance. Humans had struck with absolute precision and restraint, showing that patience and intelligence could surpass any raw power. The Council would rebuild, but they would never act against humanity without caution. The galaxy had changed forever. Lisa Brown looked at the final reports. Humanity has done what few species could. We have defended, corrected, and preserved. The Council has learned its lesson, and humanity remains patient, ready for whatever comes next. Alex Carter smiled quietly. The Council had trembled, but humanity had not. They had struck with absolute eradication of threat, not life. They had shown the galaxy that humans were patient, intelligent, and unstoppable when necessary. The silent species had not only awakened, they had reshaped the galaxy. And the Council would never forget.